Hey, welcome to the Ohms Lounge podcast. It's me, your host, Ohms, and our co-host, the lone salesman. We're back,
Yo, yo,
baby.
yo.
It's been a
Finally.
while.
Months.
Yeah. I mean, a lot of exciting things happened in our lives individually, and I'm sure for our listeners out there,
If you're
it's
still there.
a crazy world. Inflation, food's expensive, movies are crazy. I got a dog.
Fucking Mona, right?
Yeah, she's eating my drywall, and that isn't a sexual innuendo. She quite literally ate the drywall. Didn't know she could do that.
How
Got
old
a
is the dog?
house.
She's
like less than a year old, man.
wow. Young.
She's a little hellraiser.
Yeah,
But what about you?
shit. For me, I guess I'm in the thick of it at my new job. I mean, the last year things are pretty easy going, and I don't know, things have just been crazy busy, and just father stuff, raising the kid, this and that. But I've had an itch to get back to the podcast. A lot of people, some people close to me, I guess who I might consider a mentor, you need that thing to keep you going, whether it's family, your hobbies, and family is one thing too. But I think this podcast was a really good way for us to express ourselves in a way that we usually do, like maybe in Discord if we get the chance. But here we get to kind of condense it and really focus and talk about the things we want to talk about. So I think over time we came up with some different ideas, but I think we defaulted to going into transit gaming discussion because there's just been so many things going on. Why don't we just start with your favorite subject, Yu-Gi-Oh?
Yu-Gi-Oh! Alright, so World Championships 2023. We're first time in history an American ended up winning World Championships.
Wow.
He is the ultimate duelist. After 25 long years, we've been waiting. Yeah, nah, dude, it was cool.
What do you get? Like, do you get like the Millennium Eye or something? Or
Dude,
Pyramid?
he got his fucking virginity card revoked. I don't know. Nah,
That
he's
means
doing
he got
alright,
laid?
man. Probably. I mean, I don't know. I wouldn't go digging around on his Twitter to see what he likes and doesn't like. He's
Yeah,
might be a little non PG, but
for sure.
yeah, yeah, dude. No, so good on him. Make the Americans look good. Yeah, I don't know, dude. Actually, I mean, I haven't really been paying a whole lot of attention to like trading card game championships or anything like that because I myself have never been put into like regionals or even played into like actual tournaments. Unless you want to count the one that I was like 9 years old and I got completely swept in the 2v2. The team ended up having fucking Exodia like
Oh
turn two.
no.
We drove 3 hours, dude. My friend's mom was so pissed. So she just like drove us 3 hours out in Universal City. We go over there and we get our asses handed to us, and the dude's just like Exodia, and then
What
we're
the
just like
fuck?
stuck there. Yeah, bro. I was so mad, and so was my friend. The mom was super pissed.
Did you guys at
She
least
was
get to
like,
watch some other games or?
yeah, we stuck around there because she was just like, well, I'm not gonna fucking go back.
Yeah, like she's probably
We
tired as
drove
fuck.
3 hours. I mean, luckily her sister was out in the city, but whatever. Yeah, dude. Nah, but I don't really know of any other like real notable Americans unless you want to count the American that's on Magic the Gathering. So like for Magic the Gathering, if you win, you get your face put onto a card that you can play.
No
So that's kind of
shit.
cool. Yeah, dude. I think during COVID time it was a Japanese fella and he was playing against a Frenchman and he played that through MTG Arena. So that's basically just the computer-based version of Magic and it works
Okay.
just as good. And this year we got to see three consecutive duels going on for Yu-Gi-Oh's
No
matches.
way.
So they have for Yu-Gi-Oh Master Duel, they had they had two teams of three, and they had all those matches going on at the same time for a best of five. I think it was the French, they ended up winning and the Americans lost. one guy on the American team, dude, he was just dead drawing. He just did not play very well. I watched that, but it was cool, man. It was really cool. So after that was done, we ended up getting, I think, second place. And then they went into the Peruvian dude versus the American, who later won, and that was insane. This guy literally just spent 5 minutes setting up his side of the field, and then the Peruvian, he ended up playing evenly matched, which basically means wipe your fucking board, bro. And
Holy
then
shit!
not just once, he does that twice, and then
Just
the
wiped
American.
he just wiped the whole deck like off the
Yeah,
field.
no, wiped. Yeah, just wiped all of his cards off the fucking field. So then after that, the American he ends up. So the Peruvian starts popping off, and then you know what the tried and true veteran American player does? He plays fucking an OG card. He plays Effect Veiler. Dude, the crowd goes fucking
What?
wild. The announcers are shitting themselves. People are like, oh, just like that, dude. It
What?
was insane.
What's so special about this card? Like, what makes it so iconic?
Here, like, let's just look it up because I'm a Yugi boomer is what they call
A Yugi
me.
boomer.
So, yeah, dude,
Is that
guys that are that's
is
a
that
that's a
me too?
term
Is it just people who grew up on the original show or something? Or
on the original show and also the original like basically anything before synchros were introduced to the game. So
so if
effect
I had
Veiler.
a dark magician, I'm a Yugi boomer.
No, if you play like old school fucking rules, like.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and that's it.
I
Alright, yeah,
see.
so Effect Veiler. During your opponent's main phase quick effect, you can send this card from your hand to the graveyard. Target one effect monster your opponent controls. Negate the effects of that face-up monster your opponent controls until the end of this turn. So basically, it stops him dead in his tracks for him to go and pop off into his combo. And that was just like enough for the announcers and spectators to just like lose their shit. And the guy
It's
he
just some
won.
anime girl on it.
Yeah, dude. So Effect Veiler won it. People were
Level
like
1
speculating
card.
it. Yeah,
That's
it's a hand trap.
yeah.
So like
So
that's what it has going for it.
okay. I guess
Dude,
I'm a little like behind on the terms. So a hand trap is a trap card you can play from your hand. I'm guessing it's pretty
yeah,
simple.
during the opponent's turn or on your own
Oh,
turn.
during your opponent's main phase, quick effect, you can send this card. So okay, it's like it's already been in the game, but there's just like a new term for it, I guess.
Yeah. Yeah,
So
just like
people
anything else.
so people are just using it in ways that are like kind of not expected, I guess.
Well, I
I
mean,
get
it's been expected. This card's old as shit. But
yeah. But it's
yeah.
like maybe he didn't expect someone to have that card. I mean, how do you
A card from 2010, yeah.
fuck, man?
But
That's
it's been reprinted like one, two, three, four, five, like almost like 15, 20 times.
wow.
So, I mean, yeah. The cards are good, dude. Like they're called staples in your decks.
So
So yeah.
what do you think is next for Yu-Gi-Oh? I mean, like
Holy shit. Dude, the fan base is pissed because before the world tournament or the world's event was going on, people were like comparing like the games that they were playing to them playing in the back rooms room, you know?
oh yeah, I mean
Like, it was just, like, blacked out windows, like, really shitty plastic fucking tables, and oh, and the signature gamer chairs, but that's about it. Like,
okay.
really just tacky ass gamer jerseys or whatever. Like, they just need to update their shit. People were talking about, at least from the Facebook group that I'm in, they're just, like, talking about how they should be firing the event planners and stuff, and they needed to be putting a lot more work into it. Like, they just don't feel respected as, the fan base. They would like that to change. And I agree, dude. Yu-Gi-Oh! It's been going on for 25 years, and Magic the Gathering, I think they just hit their 30-year mark not too long ago. It would be nice to see some changes, and it looks like they're trying their
Hmm.
best by introducing like Rush Duel and having Master Duel put up at Worlds with 3 duels going on consecutively. Things could be done better, of course. And what I would personally love to be uh introduced to is maybe something of like along the lines of using like the Apple headset thing that just came out this year and just
Oh,
use that
okay.
shit. Use that shit for the fucking duels, dude. That'd be tight. And then
Well,
just like give us a first person view of the AR shit that's going on.
yeah.
That'd be cool. That
I
would be
mean,
so cool.
I think that's been everyone's dream since the show came out. I mean, the show is basically, yeah, it had you put the cards down, and they called it the holodeck or whatever. You go up there and it shows the monsters, and like, oh, they can't really hurt you, but it looks real. Like, how cool would that be? Like, I guess Yu-Gi-Oh has kind of just become like a meme. I guess like when most people refer to it, it's just like a big. I wouldn't say a joke, but I
Dude,
don't
it's
know.
totally a joke.
Uh,
It's entirely a joke. When Seto Kaiba has a fucking a jetliner
yeah,
that's shaped and designed as a blue eyes white dragon. He has his own space station. If you watched the last movie, and if you haven't seen it, watch it. It's so good. It's so
I mean,
funny and so
when the
ridiculous.
PS5 came out, that was another thing that brought up Yu-Gi-Oh. Everyone said it looked like Kaiba
Yeah.
from
Yeah,
season
there's a
2
lot of comparisons. Like it's just a part of like pop culture and just like nerd culture. It's kind of
for sure.
cemented itself, and it's always been there. It's been fair. I will say this: I'm not gonna completely dog on Konami about this because since we're on the topic of cards and like people collecting cards and shit, the 25-year anniversary, they have old re-release of like Metal Raiders or something like that for Yu-Gi-Oh!
Oh
Being
wow,
re-released. Yeah, so like a lot of these collectors, man, because like think about it, we grew up with it, and what do these guys that are like 25, 30 something years old got to do if they don't have any wife or kids? They collect shit. They
for
like their
sure.
memorabilia. And they see value in it, and so do other people. They get their shit graded, and things that are like graded cards, man, like they just go for hundreds, if not thousands, or tens of thousands of dollars, depending on what hobby or variation of a card collecting thing that you're putting yourself into.
Well, I mean, yeah, I mean the Pokemon itself became even mainstream. I mean, people were collecting Pokemon cards, and you had people
Getting scammed.
getting
People getting
scams,
scammed.
people wearing it to fights. I mean, it was like an accessory. We're clinging on to these things that made us feel something. I don't know. We look at it, makes us feel a certain way, and you put value into that. I think we've talked about this before, just how much value there is in nostalgia.
Oh yeah.
But then, I mean, I don't know. Like when we're talking about just the actual game, like, do people even give a shit about Pokemon? Like playing Pokemon cards. Did you even know anyone who still enjoys playing it versus actually getting the cards?
So I've seen both sides of it. I've met some people at my Friday Night Magic thing back when I used to go. They used to play it. They used to play it competitively, man. Like they had a fun time doing it, and
Okay.
hats off to them. And then you end up seeing the other side of it where some girl I used to work with, man, she ended up doing like content creator TikTok bullshit of her opening packs. And she like actually sold a card. She sold one card for like 400 something odd dollars.
God damn.
And yeah, dude. And at first I was just like, well, damn. But then I started thinking about it. And I was like, there's a lot of Magic the Gathering cards that have gone up for like hundreds of dollars. Like Ragavan. I really wanted that stupid little monkey. And I got him. He's a good card. He was really fun. And I don't plan on making the deck around him, but I just like to have him because he's just a stupid card. And I can see the value of that card going up in the future. At least that's how I see it. But if not that, then I just keep it for the art. It just
Okay.
depends, man. It just depends on people's prerogatives with collecting things like that or any other little bit of memorabilia like comic books.
Well, what do you think of Disney trying to get into it?
Uh,
This new what is it,
dude.
Lorcana? Is that what it's called?
Yeah, that's what it's called. I think a lot of the I think the parents that really that grew up like the same way we did with Pokemon and Yu-Gi-Oh, they want to introduce their kids to like that whole like world of card collecting and having fun with your friends and shit like that. They're having a hard time exposing their kids to this for a few reasons. So the cards are being scalped, man. Like the boxes, people going to Gen Con, people just acting a fool out there,
So you're
selling the
saying
cards
I can
for
make
like
a
400.
for the new ones, Disney.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
Yeah, dude. So like the booster boxes, I've seen them go anywhere from $400 to $650 for a booster box. And I think there's like
Oh,
24 packs in a box. I've seen people sell like the actual crate boxes for like $1,200. Dude, that's somebody's paycheck, bro.
yeah, it
Like
definitely is. I mean, the hell.
I couldn't imagine spending a a twelfth of my year toward Disney, but the thing is like these Disney adults, man.
Oh yeah,
Like a
they're
lot of them are cool.
yeah,
They're
no.
everywhere. They're lurking among us. I mean, shit. I indulge in some Disney from time to time.
All right, full
I like
disclosure.
Aladdin.
Full disclosure. I did go to H&M the other day over in Shibuya, and they're having the Disney 100-year anniversary collab, and
Mm.
I got some Donald boxers. It was a 3-pack, yeah, and they look pretty comfortable, and they are.
That's
And
kind of funny because Donald doesn't even wear pants.
yeah, I mean, it was Donald. One was a Mickey, and then the other one's just like random shit. But I don't know. Like, I guess my love for Disney has always been there, and slowly, I have showed my daughter some of the Disney movies and stuff, and she likes some of them, not all of them, but I think like Toy Story and Moana. She likes Tangled and Frozen, of course. So yeah, so now I'm like forced not to watch these, but I mean, obviously, I control what to show, but it's like it's convenient, it's very engaging. Kids like it. I can get some peace for like an hour maybe. And sometimes I
Yeah.
even find myself watching this shit and I'm like, oh, I'm actually sitting here watching it again. And yeah, I don't know. Disney's got this thing. Now, like, would I buy cards for her? Maybe if she asked, like if she wanted it, I would buy it.
You ain't gonna be spending no $400.
Nah,
I'll tell you
man.
that.
Like, dude, I don't think toys or things like this. This is obviously meant for not for kids. Maybe it's like it is, but it's not. Like maybe Disney.
But salesman, the box clearly says for ages 8 plus.
Uh,
What do you
I
mean?
I don't know,
Dude,
man.
yeah, I know,
You
man.
called it
You
out. No,
fucking
you you
I
call
did.
you called it out a while ago when you were talking about how much Magic was making. And I think you mentioned it got mentioned in financial news or whatever. Even
Oh,
gra
yeah.
and I think maybe Disney's picking up on this. Like, well, shit, this shit's making money. We have a well-known IP. Fuck it, let's make cards. Like everyone does it. Like One Piece has a card. Like in Japan, there's always like a new trading card game for. I see them all the time. One Piece has it. Like right after the new One Piece episode, the next thing they advertise is the fucking games, then the trading card game. I've gone to the Bandai store in Ikebukuro and a few other places, and they even have tables set up for the One Piece game. And I did actually see some people playing Kihabara. That whole area always has people playing games, whatever the fuck. There's probably some shop out there that might have a pack. I don't know. Probably not. These people probably fucking bought that shit right away.
What, for
Um,
Lorcana? Or for the One Piece game?
well, for in Japan, I mean, probably both. I mean, but I would imagine Lorcana would sell more. Man, I don't know. I wonder if they even sell it at the Disney World or Disney Sea.
Breaking news on that. So when I first heard about it, it was put out there that Lorcana. This was secondhand knowledge coming from an Australian in the Facebook group that I'm in for Lorcana buy, sell, and trade. He was saying that you were like anybody that's overseas, they're not gonna get the game. Like they're not gonna get the game for a full fucking year. But like just recently, like I'm talking like maybe the past day or two, I
Okay.
saw some dude. He was just like, I went to Disneyland in France and they have a Lorcana set, some of the
What?
booster packs over here at Disneyland if you want to buy them here, just in case anybody wants to know that. And so I don't know, dude. I think they're like all this shit is really interesting to me because they're going through a lawsuit, if I'm not mistaken, or at least they had yeah, they were going through a lawsuit with because like they had a lot of likeness toward Magic the Gathering, and what's funny about that is that the guy that's being sued or whatever, He worked for Magic the Gathering, but he was also as a contractor for Lorcana whenever they were making the game. So
What?
then he tried, yeah. So he tried making his own little game, and then I guess Lorcana people or Disney people were just like basically trying to make him settle this shit out of court. Uh, I'll have to reread the article,
Well, it sounds like a lot of
but
shit. I mean, I don't know, man. Like it's
the game's not even fucking out yet. Like, that's just the crazier part. Like, dude, all this shit around this fucking stupid ass card game with Disney, with Disney shit, like people are buying Elsa holographic cards for $8,000 over here in Japan. If you want to buy the entire set of your enchanted rares, which are like basically the highest rarity cards, that's $12,000. Somebody sold that shit on eBay. Like they're selling singles for anywhere from 400 to thousands of dollars, man. And the game's not even out yet.
is Clocksworth like Time Wizard? Clocksworth, from Beauty and the Beast? Is he like Time Wizard?
I don't know, dude. Give me some of that sexy French duster girl. I want
Oh
that.
yeah, dude. What the fuck? Dude, I don't know. It's like okay, I mean, it sounds like the game is just being swept up by what every other game is being swept up by, I guess. I mean,
Yeah, whales, Disney adults, whatever you want to call them, people with fucking money. And Disney adults are like a step below suspiciously wealthy furries.
well,
So
dude, I mean, I
I
still
don't know.
see grown ass women here in Japan, even guys, even like during the day, like they're coming from Disney World because they have their bags with all the stuffed animals, and then they have the hat. They're wearing it on the train, and I'm just like you're getting dressed up to go to Disney World still, like they probably do it more than once. I mean, like I don't know, maybe like that's their they feel comfortable there. I mean, I liked it. It was cool, man. Like, but fuck, like
It's expensive. It's like $100 just for like per head to even step through the gate.
I mean, I will say it is a magical experience.
I've been to Disneyland. It's whatever,
Nah,
dude.
I mean
It's
it's fun,
cool.
man. They
The
like
gift shop's nice.
I guess the cool thing was like I don't know. It was my daughter's birthday, and it was a birthday month, and he took her, and they gave her a little sticker, and all the staff was nice. They all said happy birthday, no matter what. Like everyone came up. So I mean, it's an experience. It's an experience for kids, maybe some adults, and maybe they just want to keep reliving that experience.
Bro, it was definitely an experience I wanted as a kid, but I was too poor to actually like be put or actually have the opportunity to go to Disneyland or anything like
Oh
that until
yeah.
I was an adult. And then like as an adult, it was just completely soured for me. Like I was like, "Ugh, fucking Disneyland." I was just
Yeah,
like,
I guess the
yeah.
I mean, I felt the same way. Like my parents, I never got flown out to fucking Florida or California to go to fucking Disneyland or
Yeah, dude. A lot of
whatever.
people relate to that, but you know what? Disney still knows how to market to you.
Oh yeah.
Market to that damn like yeah, dude, it's like that fear of missing out type of feeling, I guess.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's
Like,
like you'll
y-
you'll eventually go. Yeah, I mean, we have
oh
this and
yeah.
that, and I mean, to be fair, I guess Disney World or Disneyland in Japan, it's more for kids. The Disney Sea place, it's kind of more. I don't know. I guess for adults, kind of. There's some cool like you can hang out. Like I guess it's not all
Dude, you can do
kiddie.
more than hang out. Dude, they have like in Florida, they have like gated communities for their employees to because like dude, it's insane. Like
Really?
I've even heard whispers on Facebook about like how like because the housing financial crisis and shit out in California is so bad that certain companies are allowing their employees to go and like get their RVs and like stay in the RVs in their parking lot. I was like reading one of the comments and somebody was like, just say Disney, bro. And I'm just like, yeah. So like it could be it very well could be that Disney is like whoring out their employees so that they can get your money, all for the low price of nostalgia.
Jeez, man.
Yeah, isn't that dark? It is dark.
I'm sure some people would go for it, man, but I don't know. Uh, all I can say about the cards thing is we're probably gonna see a trend more and more. Who knows who might come out with the card game next?
So I see it like this. A lot of people are getting these cards, myself included, where like I got myself some dual master cards over here from 7-Eleven. I don't know shit about dual masters. But I was just like, I like shiny cards. I like the artwork,
Okay.
whatever. I also like to see how much the cards go for. And I looked one up, $14. I paid 170 yen, so like less than a dollar or around a dollar.
Oh
And
damn.
I was, yeah, exactly. And then whenever you came by, I ended up buying like a couple of more, and I pulled some really rare ones. Now, are they gonna stay at this price? Probably not. But I just think it's kind of funny. It's like card packs are basically lottery tickets,
Oh
and
yeah. I mean, they definitely are.
yeah, yeah, but they also second as an art piece, because like I like them for the artwork, personally.
For sure, man. I mean, the artwork on there is definitely beautiful or just nice to look at sometimes. I mean, half the time that's all I did with my Yu-Gi-Oh cards. I just bought them because they look cool. I mean, shit.
Yeah, dude.
I mean, I when I went with you to 7-Eleven, I think they still had some Evangelion stuff, and they had 8 tickets left, and I was like, they're at half price. I'm like, fuck it, dude, I'll buy it. Like, I like this stuff. I like to look at it, so that's all that matters. And then 3,000 yen, get like a whole
Little goodie bag.
little goodie bag. Yeah, we got the statue, got some towels and some other stuff. The portrait that you refused to accept, but that's okay.
Yeah,
Um,
dude. I don't want that in my house, dude.
I'll make that the podcast cover.
Yeah. Your the boys love.
Yeah, I'll make that the cover, dude. That'll be funny.
Yeah.
Anyway,
All right.
um, getting I mean, we talked a lot about trading card games. I mean, it's
Yeah,
gonna
it's
be
alive and
relevant,
well.
and maybe
Yeah.
when Lorcana finally gets released, we can talk more about it and see what the gameplay is like and how people are actually playing it and not just buying the cards. Let's go over some gaming stuff. So why don't we talk quickly about, because we did mention this a long time ago when we first started the podcast, Street Fighter 6. What are your impressions?
I think it's disrespectful to me as a player that put in fucking 500, 600 hours grinding in Street Fighter 5 on Akuma and he's not in the game. I think that's pretty shit. I know he's gonna be released eventually, but it's not even just that. And I don't want to talk on this too long because it's just one of those things. Modern controller players, I understand that this game is for you, but you're making it a fucking headache. You're making it a headache to people that want to play ranked online. And you don't have to play ranked online. I don't play ranked online now, but I did. And the whole reason why I don't want to play ranked online is because I don't want to get fucking like 100 to 0'd, bodied, whatever, by some Zangief. And I'm just like over here that like, dude, you've seen it firsthand. You've seen how
Yeah.
many hours I've put in Street Fighter 5 with Akuma, working on all these fucking combos. And I'm telling you, yeah, I went and I spent like a whole fucking month learning these combo sets or whatever, and then I just get bodied immediately. And it was just like just so sad. I just feel like it was just a waste of my fucking time.
Well, maybe there's some like helpful tips. I don't know. Maybe there's some tips out there that,
Yeah,
you know,
don't play. Uninstall.
just don't
Just
play.
move on to a different. Yeah, just don't play. I mean, look. I like the fighting game community. I like the game. The game is good. Like, I'm not gonna shit on it completely. I will say that the multiplayer experience, it's gonna vary. Like, unless you fucking only play just Street Fighter, then maybe this is the game for you, or any fighting game for that matter. But
Well,
I
I get.
can't justify
Hmm.
spending fucking 600 hours onto this brand new game for me to get bodied by some guy that just fucking
Well,
plays like it's Dragon Ball Fighter Z.
I I mean, for the average player who, maybe isn't the biggest fighting game fan, but maybe they played like a game like Mortal Kombat and maybe they like the story And maybe like fighting with their friends a little bit. I mean, would it be worth it for that? I mean, I know the game does have some story mode that seems a bit more interactive.
I will say this. Luke, he's got some strong youth pastor energy about him. He's like the first person that's like kind of like showing you the ropes. So like you are like kind of like leaned into it. Like, yeah, man, this is fine.
Okay.
Come on, you got it, bro. You got it. So like it does kind of make you feel like a little bit okay. But
Okay.
then like all right, so here's the other thing too. I'm sure a lot of people that are listening to this already fucking know, especially if they already play this fucking game. You have to play through the story mode in order for you to unlock the characters or a lot of the characters.
Oh, really? Wow.
Yeah. Yeah, so I mean that's not bad. I think that's actually really good
I mean, that's
practice and
pretty normal
uh
for some old school fighting games, you know. Unless you use a cheat code, you know, you had
yeah,
to play
Mortal
for the
Kombat
story.
Deception. Yeah, Mortal Kombat Deception and Deadly Alliance, they did that from my memory. But yeah, I thought it was a nice touch. I want to give them props for that. It's a beautiful game to look at. Like I have my own like jaded, cynical fucking views on the game for very specific reasons, but overall the game is very good. I like it. I enjoy it. I think it's really fucking funny. I like the storyline, and I like the little missions you get to go on. Like it's a good game if you're a streamer. You get to just play the storyline, just beat up old ladies and get into a fight with them. I think it's hilarious.
No
Keeps you
shit.
engaged.
I mean,
Yeah, dude,
it
it's a
seems
fun
like I
game.
had a how was the release? I mean, I know it's been quite some time, but
Dude,
you
everybody was playing it on release, man. It was crazy.
did you think
But
it
yeah,
was pretty stable? I mean, no problems or
I didn't have any issues with it, and I just played it on my my computer with the 1060. So
nice.
yeah, dude, like 16 gigs RAM, 1060. I was able to play the game, no problem.
Okay, cool. So I mean, you don't like
Solid game.
I mean the fighting mechanics themselves, I mean, are they still pretty solid besides this easy
Oh, the
mode?
modern McCool.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's good. I even for like me, I'm not gonna shut on modern entirely because if I just want to like just play, just like go through it and just like listen to the story, then it's a convenience to have modern to be honest, instead of me having to do my quarter circle forwards and all that
Well,
other shit.
what does
Um,
modern do for the player kind of? Could you what would you say it
So
does?
basically hold R1 and then a square button, then you do your auto combo. That's all it is.
Oh, it just does
Or,
the full combo.
or something
So
like that.
okay, well, because from what I remember, Fighter Z had a similar system, but some people would say that though it can be used once you learn regular combos, those can kind of overpower those simple.
Yeah, so I think what you're getting at is like how so they addressed this whenever they ended up doing the showcase for it, or their panels in regard to Street Fighter 6 before the game even released. They're like, yeah, we do have modern and it is easier for sure, but if you do want to go back to the old school way or standard or whatever, you're gonna actually have frame advantage. So
Oh wow!
like, yeah, so that's nice. That's very nice. But
I mean, would you say some of the pros actually would use that modern style?
I mean, they've had to deal with it, especially in tournaments. I've seen that.
'Cause in some
Um,
tournaments, people use the modern style.
yeah, definitely. It's not illegal or anything like that. So if you want easy mode, if you want to go to tournaments and go and get sponsored by Red Bull and get a couple of $100,000 if you win, then yeah, dude, this might be your game.
Okay. I mean, real quick, let's just touch on MK1. I mean, you also played that as well. How? What are your thoughts on that one?
So I haven't played the old school or I'm sorry, the more recent ones like MK11 or anything like that. But MK1, I was watching the panels. I like I like a lot of the crazy shit that they're doing to the characters. So basically, you get a cameo along with your fighter, and the way they treat the cameos is like a loadout. So like
Okay.
if you want to go all in, or you want to do juggling and combos, or if you want to do like sneak attacks, or basically just like on the fly shit, you can do that.
So instead
Like
of like using the full move list, you just get a certain amount of moves.
it'll help out your characters. It gives the game a breath of fresh air by allowing you to experiment with different cameos. So like Kano, he just rolls into you from like long range. So he's like he covers the entire screen. If you want to go with Sonya Blade, she just like grapples you to the ground, and then you have to get up, and then you have to do
Goddamn.
something about that. And if you want to go into Frost, she's got like I forgot what it was. I think probably a small stun or a knockdown or something like that. And then there's Jax, like he's just a heavy hitter. So like you can play with it. Like you have a really nice little roster of characters that you can experiment with. But one in particular that I was very surprised to see, because like I haven't seen it in a fighting game like that before, was Johnny Cage. So with Johnny Cage, whenever somebody goes for like a grab on you, he can do a reverse grab and then like break your arm basically. So like they can't grab you for the rest of that match.
Oh
So
wow.
like yeah, so like it's pretty cool. Like like that's just like the only thing though. Like you can still like as the opponent or that's trying
Still,
to
that'd be
fight
kind of
against a
nice.
Johnny. Yeah. So like you can still do whatever, but you're not allowed to use grab anymore for the rest of the match. So that's kind of cool. You don't really see that in a whole lot of fighting games. I think that's pretty neat.
Okay, so I mean, it sounds like I had a lot of variation, bringing something new to the table because, I mean, off and on, I'll play some Mortal Kombat. Who someone if it's at someone's house, sure, I'll play it a bit. I even played it on a Switch, and the Switch one wasn't great. It still like ran well enough, but yeah, okay. Well, I mean, I like the DLC characters too. They put like Terminator and Leatherface, all kinds of like fucking classic icons. So like
Yeah, dude.
I like what they do with it, and I'm excited to see who MK1 might bring to the table.
Who
But
was
okay.
it? I think they said something about bringing what's his
Oh, you
name from
know
the
what?
musical, the dad,
It's Omni Man
Omni Man.
and Homelander. I know those, so that's gonna be really fun.
Yeah, and then there's like a rapper that's supposed to be in it too.
What the fuck?
Yeah, allegedly. Yeah, Travis Scott. He's supposed to be in the game.
What's Travis Scott?
Y- Yeah, dude, rumored. It's rumored to feature Megan Fox and Travis Scott. I don't know
Okay,
what the
we got Peace.
fuck.
We also got Peacemaker, Ermac, Quan Chi, and Takeda. I mean, Quan Chi
Yeah.
and Ermac, they're like classics, I guess. And yeah, Peacemaker, that's kind of cool. I really enjoyed that show.
Yeah, it was good. I liked it.
Probably the only good DC thing.
He called me Chimp Arm.
Oh, your dog, the invisible bone. Okay, well, speaking of shows, I don't think I've had a chance to watch that new Twisted Metal show.
I haven't either, but
I've
I've
heard,
seen little clips and I think
yeah,
they're hilarious.
yeah. I mean, people are saying it's funny. Some people saying it's mixed, but it's already an interesting concept, to turn into a show. And then you pinged me about Dark Souls getting a Netflix show,
Mhm.
which was surprising to me because I never really thought of Dark Souls as a. I mean, it has a lot of lore and content, and some of the hardcore fans will probably say, "Oh, you don't know what you're talking about." But honestly, whenever I played the games, it's like really hard for me to pay attention to what's happening because it's very vague and they speak in riddles, and you have to kind of put the pieces together to figure out what's going on. Like in Elden Ring, it's much more clear, what's happening, but it's still not like cohesive. I mean, they tell you what's happening, that you know who you're dealing with, but you still kind of have to explore and figure things out. Like there's some major side bosses you fight that are considered main, I guess not main characters, but you could easily miss them. And I know you're not like a huge fan of Dark Souls, but sometimes I know you played games like Sekiro. I don't know. What are your thoughts on a show like this?
I think it's interesting that they decided to go with Dark Souls over Sekiro because, like, I know Elden Ring got Game of the Year, but I can't remember like off the top of my head if Dark Souls ever got Game of the Year before
Hmm. Maybe
before Sekiro
Bloodborne.
came out. I don't know. I mean that's a good question, but I would have liked to see Sekiro get the Netflix adaptation. I felt like that would have been a bit more practical, a
Oh
lot
yeah.
more. Yeah, I think
This,
I feel like it would have been way easier.
I mean, the story is, yeah, and that's one thing I really like. I mean, speaking of story, I mean, Sekiro's story was simple but kind of like refreshing, and people may or may not agree with this, but I enjoyed the game's combat a lot more as well. I felt like there was a lot more going in that game, a lot more, I guess, going on in the fights. How you counter, how you deflect, how you dodge. In Dark Souls, it always felt to me like a rolling simulator, or you're just one of those people that like parrying, you're like spamming magic, or you can cheese Dark Souls. I mean, Sekiro you can kind of cheese as well, but I don't know. It just felt like more fluid and intense, and I really loved the combat. And don't get me wrong, Elden Ring and Dark Souls, you have plenty of those harder fights, but it just doesn't. It feels cheap sometimes, and whereas Sekiro, whenever you die, it feels like, okay, that's my fault. There's obviously a way I could have done this. You're making the same mistakes. And when you talk about the story, I mean, it's pretty simple. But I guess with Dark Souls, maybe it's more recognizable, the style.
You know what I think it is? I think it's this. I think it's like they already have a lot of product for Dark Souls. Like they have Dark Souls 1, 2, 3. They even have Demon Souls. And then that's an easy segue into Elden Ring, whatever. And then not to mention they also have a board game too. So it's
True.
like they have a bunch of product. They have a bunch of product to offload because of this franchise. Now, Sekiro, that's a one and done.
Yeah,
And
yeah. It's
yeah.
You're right. I mean, who? All right. So speaking, I mean, in the show, what would you want to see though? I mean, being a
For Sekiro
no,
or
I
for
mean
Dark
for
Souls?
Dark Souls, who would you want to see, or what would you
I want
want
to
to
see
see?
Dung Eater,
Oh my
but I know that's Elden Ring.
god! I think he's in Dark Souls as well.
I don't know. I really don't
Um,
know. I don't really follow it. Fake gamer alert, fake fan. Yeah, yeah. No, I only played Dark Souls 2, but I only played it for like maybe like 12 hours.
nope.
Yeah.
um,
Yeah, dude. I don't know. It's one of those games that kind of got ruined for me because everybody was streaming it, so I kind of like live vicariously as the gamer through them.
oh, I
So,
see. I mean, that's kind of how it was for me too. Like, I always saw people playing it until I started playing it myself when Elden Ring. Like, my friends would beg me, like, dude, get Elden Ring, and I'm like, all right, fine, I'll play it. And I had a good time with it. It was a great game. Would I recommend it to everyone?
I wouldn't
Yeah.
recommend it to my mom. My mom plays games, but she wouldn't play that. I
I
know she
think
would dude, she would not have a good time.
I think if you're playing with people, even by yourself, it's kind of like it's kind of a cool open sandbox game where you do have to figure shit out, and it is a little refreshing that the game doesn't hold your hand. I mean, it tells you loosely where to go. It's like an old school game. If you're playing with friends, like any other game, it makes it just as more fun. And there's a variation to how you can play it. Some people do pacifist runs. Some people do no hit runs, or not pacifist, but they do no hit runs where they just don't get hit or heal and never die. There's just so many cool, and then the way you see people deal with it is crazy. So I think some of that will be lost in the show. A lot of the appeal to the game is the challenge, and I don't know how much interest there'll be in the actual show because there's never really I mean, the protagonist, you have a silent protagonist, and it's someone you put yourself into. So I don't really know who they would do unless they do like one of the stories of before, I guess. I mean, you take a show like Witcher too, The Witcher. I don't know if you've kept up with The Witcher, but it's been heavily scrutinized because some people are saying that it's not following some of the books, or the story is kind of all over the place. I never read the books, and I usually just watch my friends play the game. I played it myself. Playing 1 was too wonky, and 2 was fine, but I just couldn't get into it. I liked watching it, but I couldn't play it. And Wild Hunt, I never gave it a shot. I bought it on sale, but I really liked the style and the look and everything. And so when I watched the show, I had a good time with it. Thought Henry Cavill was great. The side characters, Yennefer, the Bard, even the chosen chick. I mean, she's a lot better character than compare the show to like Rings of Power. Some of those characters, I just
Oh
don't.
God.
I and some. Yeah, I was talking to my friend. He's like, "Oh, Rings of Power is way better than Witcher." I'm like, you're crazy, dude. Like
What?
that show is fucking trash. I couldn't finish it. Like I I I don't know. Like I have Amazon Prime. I could finish it. Everyone got so hyped over like the 6th episode or something. Oh, Sauron, blah blah blah. I'm like, okay, cool, but like these characters still suck.
Yeah.
Some of them are funny. I like the relationship with like the elf and the dwarf. Like they're funny.
I never got that far, man. I just watched like casually with my friend because like he was like, yeah, I'm on episode 3, and dude, it just sucked. I did not care about it. I was
Yeah,
just like, this is awful. They spent how much on it? Like $500 million or some shit.
yeah. It was quite expensive. I mean, we did talk about it in I think our last episode,
Yeah, something like
or
that.
the other episode we talked about 2022 movies and TV shows.
Oh my god, dude, and it's still here haunting us.
Yeah,
God.
yeah, I
But
just
yeah, and not to detract.
yeah. Well, going back, Elden Ring, or I mean Dark Souls, the show. I'll probably give it a watch. I'm interested to see where they'll take it, but I'm a little skeptical. Anyway,
As you should.
moving on to some more recent gaming news that are a bit closer to the heart, I guess, for myself. I want to talk about Gundam Evolution, a game
Oh,
that probably a lot of people have forgotten about or are asking, what is that game even?
oh, I feel
So,
bad for you, bro.
so here's the thing. The game had some good steam to it because it came out right before Overwatch 2. I think a lot of people who are wanting to play Overwatch 2 got into Gundam because it was free and it was available. And I really like the movement. The game pacing can be very intense sometimes. It can also be very frustrating if you have it's a team-based game. So if you have a few bad players, it could be hard. Fairly enough, we stopped playing it for a few months. It got stale, and I think some of the Gundam units that were coming out, we weren't interested in. Other games were coming out, and we played other games. But we still every now and then went back to it and did some of the season challenges and had some fun. And then we got the news that the service of Gundam, it was just some random announcement. There's like a big announcement coming soon, and I was like, okay, what is it? Like the new season, whatever. And then I finally go on the website and it says the service for Gundam Evolution will end on November 29th, 2023. And
Damn.
what they've already done is they've stopped the sales of the in-game currency. So now you can't buy the in-game currency. You can still unlock some of the new units through the in-game, like you earn currency. They said they'll make it easier to earn. There's one more unit that's going to come out. The fucked up thing is my friend, this the latest season that came out. My friend ended up buying the new unit. He got some coins, but now they're like they stopped the sale of coins since last month. So it's like he paid, and then now it's like everything's still not free. You still have to play to earn. Yeah, I mean, there's going to be a new map coming up in I think a couple days. Actually, I think the new season's going to come out, and then or some new maps, and then we also have in October some updates. I don't know. Like I don't know what happened. So going over the Q&A, I guess they think that players are disappointed. They wanted to just end it. But I think there's some confusion because I think most of the players like the gameplay. The problem was it was just the content that was coming out, and it's falling kind of into that whole paid service detriment to gaming that's happening. Where we did talk about this a few episodes ago.
Well, yeah, I kinda I'm getting flashbacks of, what is it called? Jump Force?
Yes.
So, like, I'm looking at the Steam charts for it, so let me look at it, 'cause I have Gundam Evolution right here and Jump Force. Let's see here. Yeah, they're pulling, like, the same numbers. So Gundam, it's been averaging around, so for the past 30 days, 228 players. July was 400, and then another big jump was in May where 600 were there, April 800, and then it's just been fluctuating, man. They just can't
Yeah.
compete with all the games that are coming out this year. And then like I'm looking at Jump Force where they had a huge like they saw like the writing on the wall, man, because like they let Jump Force stay where it was at like their peak was at 599 concurrent players or whatever averaged, and then it just dropped down to like 200 for it looks like about a year,
Yeah.
and then they had
Well,
a nice little bump. Yeah, dude. It's just they didn't want this to be a server a
yeah.
server maintenance payment that they just did not have the money for or would rather not pay for, especially
But
since it was a free to play game.
how long did Jump Force last though?
Shit, years?
Whereas this game only lasted 1 fucking year, if that. So the game came out September 2022, and it's ending.
16,000 players averaged. That's
Yeah,
crazy.
and don't forget. I mean, Steam charts. It's not all the players, and also there's a separate launcher. I think for Japan. It's like a Bandai launcher or whatever, but it's only in Japanese. So we don't have the numbers there, but I did play. It was cross-play, and it was on PlayStation. It was on console. I don't know, man. Like it's
It
just it's
was it was a bad time because like wasn't also like 2022 like a really hard year to get like a PS5 as well?
Yeah. I mean, I believe it was released on PS4, like some of the last gen consoles too. I mean, the
Ah,
game's
okay.
not the game's not too graphics intensive. I mean, it's available. It's a fun game, but I
Yeah, it was
just
much better than Overwatch. Yeah.
yeah, Overwatch is fuck. Dude, don't get me started on that.
Dude, I feel so
Oh
bad.
god,
I feel so bad. Dude,
it's
is that your Senua's revenge?
that's
Is
my
that
sentiment,
yours?
dude. I said it like the thing about Overwatch is it could be a great game, but like the direction they've taken it in, like Gundam, it's because of the loot box thing. Okay, I mean
Yeah.
they took away the loot boxes. But here's the thing: I bought Overwatch I bought it twice. Once on PS, PlayStation, and once on PC. And it's like Siege, where when you bought the game, you got a certain amount of characters. Depending which version you got, you get X amount of characters. Except in Overwatch, the characters were always free. So, I paid maybe $30 for the game. You were always getting content. And then if you wanted, during the events, you bought loot boxes, or you just played the game. If you won, you got free loot boxes. Now all that's gone. You can grind, go through the battle pass, get free content, and it's the same thing with Gundam. And I think maybe people are just getting fatigued from this. It's like,
Yeah.
you mentioned before, it's like we're not all like, for the average gamer, like how many fucking battle passes can you buy, and then how much time can you spend to finish these battle passes? Like for the average gamer who, let's just say average Overwatch player, maybe they're frustrated with Overwatch and they want to play a similar game. Maybe I'll play some Gundam, and then they realize, oh well, I don't have all the units. I don't want to fucking buy this battle pass. Fuck this, I'll play something else. And then if I had put together all the games I was playing at that time, I had Apex, Gundam, Call of Duty sometimes. That's already like $30, right? And then the seasons last maybe 1 or 2 months, right? So then that's another $10, and then there's another $10, and then I'm starting to realize, and that's another reason why I stopped playing Apex, is because I realized I'm not finishing these battle passes anymore. I'm not playing like I used to. So why play at all? Like, sure, I could play, but I'm not gonna play like I used to.
There's a lot of talk amongst gamers right now, man. People want a game that you can pick up, put down, be done with it, whatever. Like we already work, dude. We're in a fucking really bad time.
Dude, why does 2K have a fucking battle pass? Why does
No,
2K
you really shouldn't. It's
why does
dude,
2K
it's
have
so
a battle
bad.
pass?
Dude, it's so bad. I don't understand it either. I really don't agree with it.
Dude,
I
I don't
don't think that I think like these AAA studios are very out of touch. They're like, bro, dude, the audience that they're catering to are working like 40 plus hours a week to buy the damn game, and then they're having to find time if they're married to like get time to themselves. They have barely like I would wager this. I would wager that the average person that works a 40-hour minimum and 40 hours minimum a week, has a wife and a kid, and they only have about maybe 10 hours to themselves a week
yeah.
leisurely. I would want to say that's about as much time as they got. And if they have anything more than that, dude, then man, that baby is like crying or something. The wife's picking up all the slack, or the wife just doesn't work. I don't know, dude. I don't know your fucking life, whatever. But that's how I'm seeing it. I think like a lot of the game studios out there, they really need to fucking put like
Well, I think they use
they
that
need
to their
they need a
advantage too,
break
though.
check.
I think they use that
They,
to their advantage because they realize, hey,
probably
look at it like this: the consumers, the guys who are making money, right? Let's say there's a battle pass. Well, the real benefit to you is if you pay $10 extra, you can get the premium battle pass where you get 30
oh my
levels, you get the
god.
XP booster pack, you get the
And
battle
the
pass booster, you
exclusive.
get the
Oh
you get the tracer
god.
rounds, you get the guns, you get the loadout, you get the guns that are or whatever. Like in Gundam, it's I wouldn't say it's pay to win, but there are definitely some units at the time that were
They
beneficial.
experimented with it, and I guess they felt dirty. So good on Japan for fucking deciding to kill it, like right then and there. They saw that it was like they saw it was a fun game.
But the fucked
Yeah,
up part is they have another game called Gundam Battle Operations, which is 100% pay to win. All right, so you know our friend DNZ. He's a huge Gundam
yeah.
fan. He used to play the other. There's a bunch of Gundam games, but one of them back in the day was pretty good. It was like a Battlefront style. But the recent one, Battle Operations, that one's like an older game, but that one's pay to win. It's like an MMO. But we both agreed that Evolution, though we got tired of it at times, it was clearly the better game. So whatever. I want to get the sour taste out of my mouth. It's unfortunate. I'll probably play it a little bit before it goes offline, but who knows? Who knows? Maybe I don't know how strongly people feel about the game, but maybe the gamers will rise and maybe there'll be some interest.
I mean, the way that gamers are right now, man, I think that they're tired of giant robots. They're all about sexy vampire elf people in
But
Baldur's
isn't the
Gate,
new
dude.
armored core coming out? Aren't people excited about that?
Bro, it's gonna do fine, but I don't think it's gonna do as well. That's my projection on it. A
I
lot
think
of people are
yeah.
hyping up a game that people haven't even fucking heard about, that don't even realize it came out on PS1. Like like a lot of these gamers are like, "Oh my god, it came from Software. Oh, holy shit, it's gonna be the greatest fucking game ever." I'm like,
Yeah,
"Oh,
Okay, well, like so I've heard of the game and I've seen it, but I've never like been a fan. Like I like mech games, like they look cool, but I never sat down and like there was a few old school games I used to play, like Robotech Battle Cry. That one was fun.
I want to know what these gamers fucking have played for like their last robot game. That's what I want to know." I mean, for you that's easy. Gundam, whatever. But still, like a lot of people haven't even played Gundam Evolution. That's evident because the game's getting fucking terminated. But yeah, like I want to know. I genuinely want to know.
What's the last? What's the criteria? It just has to be a robot, or
giant fighting robot, dude.
A giant
Let's chill
fighting
with
robot.
that.
Okay.
You know what, for me, you know what mine was? It was Zone of the Enders. That was the last giant fighting robot game I ever played.
Okay.
That was it. Yeah, dude. Like, I'm not afraid to say it.
Yeah.
I don't understand. I think a lot of people put a bunch of hype. Dude, I think Armored Core 6, it's gonna be a great game. You know, From Software, they have a very good track record. Am I gonna think that they're gonna like release a shitty game? Absolutely not. Is it gonna be failing in comparison to a lot of games that have been coming out this year? Like, what was that one Zelda game that came out this year? Apparently, people are saying that's gonna win Game of
Oh,
the
Tears of
Year.
the Kingdom.
Whatever.
Well, what do you think?
Yeah,
Let's instead
I
of
don't know, dude. I'm not a huge Zelda fan. The last Zelda game I played was fucking something of Seasons for the Game Boy Color, dude. Like that's it. I have no stake in it, man. I think they're beautiful games and they're trendsetters. I'll give them credit, dude. I don't care. I don't think it's anything special, if that's what you're asking me.
all right, fine. Let's talk about the games that we want to play.
Game of the year right here. I'm gonna call it Baldur's Gate 3. I fucking bought that shit 3 years ago before all you fucking bandwagoners calling you out. Whatever. I still haven't made it past Act 1. I don't care.
Well, speaking of bandwagoners, I think there's a lot of people hating on the game too.
Dude, they're fucking furious. They're furious, dude. They're fuming. They're seething, and I love it.
Like they're mad because the game has a lot of content.
They're mad because the game did good, just like how people are mad at like fucking
You got
what
mad
was
at Elden Ring. Same
at
thing.
Animal Crossing. People
I
are mad
know.
at
Oh yeah.
people get mad at anything. People get mad at anything. It's like
This game
that's
is
just
so
the world we
repetitive.
live
I
in.
don't get it.
It's just
Or
like,
like
oh,
someone was saying about Elden Ring, like, well, the UI you ruins it for me. I'm like, okay.
dude. Look, we're just your casual gamers, man. We're not your fucking professional game reviewers. Like, the thing is, like, is the game fun? Is it gonna be meeting like the average Joe fucking like criteria? Like, I really don't understand how like my wife ended up like putting in hundreds of hours into Animal Crossing, but I can tell her, like, hand to God, that I'm not gonna be putting hundreds of hours into fucking Baldur's Gate 3. Hell no. I could barely get through like fucking 20 hours on a weekend. Like, that's a lot, by the way.
Yeah, that is a lot.
Uh-uh.
Well,
Yeah,
dude, I
dude.
mean,
Like,
what do you like about
that's where
it?
I quit. What I like about it is the fact that you got a lot of freedom. I like that they stayed true to like what the fuck they were gonna be telling to the audience, their fans. Like if you watch their panels, if we were to watch their very first panel, it's entertaining. It reminded me of the good old days, like G4 days. Tech TV days, for
Wow.
those are that fucking old. Like it was that good. It was old school G4 fucking E3 levels of content that they put out for the community and the audience, that they were saying these are our expectations and we're going to be showing you. We're going to be playing through the fucking demos and the betas, like the beta build that we have right now in front of you so you can see it. Like they were very transparent. And you don't see that with fucking game companies these days. They dressed up, they were wearing like paladin armor. Like they just made a fun
That sounds
thing about
awesome.
it. And it was amazing. It was amazing. And you don't see that shit with these fucking game companies anymore. You know what you see? You see them like, this is the most interactive video game with no microtransact. Like, dude, they just like throw a bunch of fucking like buzzwords together, throw it at you and say it's gamer and influenced and for the gamers or some shit
Oh
like that at the
god.
end. Dude, like it's just like, and it's like some like 7-year-old dude on stage. It's like, dude, what the fuck do you know about Destiny? Like, I don't
Oh,
care.
I don't
See, like
even.
that's the type of shit that I don't want to see. But yet you end up seeing something like that from Baldur's Gate 3. The guy, yeah, sure, he may look a little old, but he was able to play the game for me and show me what he was talking about with such like eloquence and all that shit. Like it was good. He did a great job and he's running a great show. And yeah, the game is it's running numbers. It's making these fucking game developers look like shit, like from AAA studios. And I don't know. I think I'm really hoping that this is really gonna like pave the way for gamers and indie developers, or set a new standard. I'm sure that people have fucking
Yeah.
compared that to, but yeah, dude, like
It's gonna
that's what I
be
want.
It'd be hard to go against Zelda, though. I mean, Zelda. Here's the thing. I don't think the new one warrants Game of the Year.
Game of the year,
It,
yeah, because it
to
looks the same,
me,
right? It feels the same.
some people like those the style, and I'm not trying to say graphic, style over substance or anything, but I stopped caring about Legend of Zelda myself. Last game I played was Twilight Princess, which was on the Wii or GameCube. I also like playing Wind Waker. That was like another one of my favorites. And of course, I played some of the older ones. But those are the two games I played the most. When I saw Skyward Sword on Wii U, I never had a Wii U, and I wasn't interested in getting one. I got Switch, and I saw Breath of the Wild. I didn't want to play it. It looked great. I'm sorry, I just didn't want to play it because I knew it was one of those games that you had to put time into, and I just wasn't interested in going back to that world. I have this weird thing where sometimes my most anticipated games is a remaster of a game I played already because I want to go back to that old game. Like I played Tales of Symphonia on my vacation. The game was remastered on Switch. It was also remastered on Steam, but I wanted something to play on the Switch because it's on the go. I could put it up, put it back down, kept me entertained, and I was looking for a game like that. Like I'm sure you could do the same thing with Zelda, but I just felt it was too overwhelming, and I feel the same way about Baldur's Gate. For me, maybe at a later time I could get into it, but I can appreciate it both games for what they are, and I can appreciate watching people play it, seeing the clips, seeing what people make, like seeing what situations you get in Baldur Gate 3, or seeing the kind of crazy ass contraptions you make in Tears of the Kingdom, since they have a weird crafting system where you can make gadgets and whatnot, robots, all kinds of crazy shit. But now I'm starting. I've been playing Dark and Darker. That has been my bread and butter for the past month or so. The game's been under a lot of scrutiny. There's a lot of drama, lawsuits, but I won't get into that. I just want to talk about the gameplay, and it's an interesting idea you brought up. I think you told me about the game first. You're like a dungeon crawler with portals and whatnot, and I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about? And I'm like, oh, and then I play it. And I'm like, oh damn. So this is what it's like. And I know we talked about Marauders before, but kind of hit my limit with that game.
You got your hours out of it. I'm still happy that you ended up getting as much gameplay out of it that you did. So
I got a lot of gameplay, and I don't know what it is. That game has its own community, and people. I wouldn't say exploitive, but they made some changes that are good, and it's going in the right direction. But I wouldn't say as it's polished as a game like Escape from Tarkov, which is not a polished game at all, but it still has a lot more depth to it. And Dark and Darker also right out of the box just has so much to it, and it's addicting. It's fun with other people, of course. It can be funny, and the dev team's constantly updating the game. They're very vocal, and they're very they work hard. They're very passionate. You see them taking community feedback, and it's one of the things that happened recently was before all the classes were free. Now, and then when they released the game, you had to use they give you 5 free tokens or whatever. You can unlock a class, you can buy a new race. Had to unlock the classes. So there's 2 classes that you had to unlock, and some people didn't like that. They took the feedback and they said, "Hey, okay, we hear you. So we'll refund those tokens back to you, and all from now on, the classes will be free." Yeah, it's a fun game. It's highly competitive. I mean, sometimes it gets frustrating. You do run into some players with higher level gear, and sometimes you just have to be, I guess, a little clever or think of how you fight or just even run away. Some other games that I'm looking, yeah,
here's the thing. So who's the game for? Because whenever I introduced it to you a while ago, I only got it because of 2 reasons. It was made by indie devs, whatever. They did really well, and it could run on my shitbox computer. those are like the two criteria to really wow me. But like for you that's played it and you play it with a lot of friends and it's actually doing really well, who would you say it's like actually meant for? If you were to say like, oh, this is definitely your type of game.
I guess it's meant kind of for the D&D crowd. It's heavily inspired off of Dungeons and Dragons, but it's also, I guess, it could cater to some people who are even into a battle royale type combat. I don't know, like games like Skyrim or Oblivion. They're like that first person kind of simulator. I guess people who like survival games too, who like Tarkov or games like that. I don't know. It's intense and it's fun. Maybe if you don't like the medieval kind of aesthetic, it's not for you. But if you're into that, I think you would like it.
Hmm. All right. Yeah, I mean, I enjoyed what little bit of fun I had with it. Like the thing that would really sell me on it is if it was actually on Steam, because you said that it was actually it uses its own launcher, right?
Yeah, so right now it's not on Steam. It's on its own launcher called Blacksmith. So I'm not 100% sure when it's going to be on Steam, but I think because of that lawsuit, because of the issues, so they were accused of using assets from Nexon, which was some of the other developers' previous company. A lot of it, I don't think it's sticking, but I think Nexon's kind of just doing it to kind of bully them a bit. But then again, I I have no idea. They do have a lot of evidence on their side saying a lot of their assets were purchased from the Unreal Engine store. So they do have a lot of things to back it up. And that was actually the main reason it got took off the Steam store. So for a long time, it was just they would just do playtests constantly. And then the last playtest that happened, they ended up saying, fuck it, torrents are playtest. And yeah, yeah. And they even did it through the patches that way. And I did it for a little bit, and it wasn't great. A lot of people didn't do it, obviously. And now we're releasing the game. I didn't hesitate really because, I played games like Tarkov where they have their own independent launcher and I could care less. I think they're trustworthy. I'm not paranoid. Your Windows computer might give you a warning, but I don't think it's much concern.
Dude, pirate. It's all right. You can do it. Destroy the family computer. Put LimeWire on it.
Go to those live cam websites.
Oh no.
So you've been playing Baldur's Gate. What are some upcoming games you might be excited about?
Small Saga, they finally fucking decided to say that they're going to be releasing the game this year and not like fucking last year, like how the developer actually told me last year when he said, "Oh yeah, we're slated to release it in summer." Now, look, I get it. That's a year delay, but it wasn't Hyper Light Drifter where it was delayed for like fucking 6 years. And I kickstarted
Fuck.
that shit. My name is in the goddamn credits, all right? Look, that game is great. It's so great they're getting a Netflix adaptation. We talked about that. I don't know when it's going to be released, but hey, Heart Machine's doing alive. It's alive and well.
That's awesome.
Small Saga. Small Saga is going to be coming out sometime this year. I think in November or October, if I'm not mistaken. But I'm very excited for that. And once I get myself some money, I want to play Sea of Stars. I played Sea of Stars demo. That game was very good. Um, I had about 2 hours worth of gameplay for me to get through it, and then like that was the end of the demo, which I thought was appropriate. It was very Chrono Trigger, classic RPG, JRPG styled. It had really nice little mechanics in there, so that like you can whenever you were going to attack an opponent, it had like a little quick time action that you could do as you're hitting them, or even on the receiving end, so you could like defend yourself. So I thought that was a nice touch. And I think that's exactly what games like that need today, because to make it feel a bit more involved, and it has like that nice pixel art feel to it. So that's always pleasing to look
Hmm.
at, especially when it's done right. And that goes the same for for small Saga. Like you can tell it was something special from playing the demo, and I think that game's gonna be a sleeper hit. Even though it's releasing later on in the year, I think it's gonna be a sleeper hit.
I think so too, man. Like I want to play it, and I think I would love to play it on like a game like I think I'd love to play it on Switch too. Like I would love to see a Switch release, if possible.
It should be done. No, I think it should be okay to do that because like I was able to play it on keyboard and mouse like very easily.
Yeah. Well, I'm happy to see that game coming out. I want to see Starfield. A lot of talk about that.
I don't know,
Uh,
dude. They're not Todd Howard's not making me feel any better about they're gonna be approaching this shit.
Look, dude, I
They're sticking to
know.
the good old recipe, the good old Fallout recipe, bro. And they're like, keep your expectations low. That's what I
Um,
saw in a in an article.
oh my god. I mean, if it's anything like Fallout 4, I mean, combat wise and style wise, I'm satisfied with that.
It's gonna
I
be atmospheric, and they
Yeah,
always win an atmosphere. They
yeah,
always
like
do.
I that's all I care about. Like honestly, I know it's not gonna be game of the year. That game's not gonna be game of the year. I just know it's gonna be wonky. There's gonna be some weird shit. Who knows?
Yeah, Baldur's Gate had 3 years of beta and alpha to kink shit out.
I mean, and then you
It
got another AAA titles coming out. You got Spider-Man 2, which looks pretty fucking amazing.
it looks good.
You got the new Cyberpunk
Or the
DLC,
DLC, yeah.
which I'm looking forward to. You know, I want to go back to that game. I did enjoy it. I did replay it a little bit not too long ago. I was had my second character and just having fun. You know, there's been so much bullshit with Cyberpunk. I mean, people just need to fucking get over it, man.
Dude, it's fine. If you were to look it up right now, it's got like a 9 out of 10. Like they dude, whoever it was that CD Projekt Red ended up paying off, like they paid them off well in order for them to kinda, like, save face. Now, can I say the same for the investors? Probably not. I don't know, but yeah, they kinda really did. They made a masterclass of what not to do for that entire time during COVID, and people are
Yeah.
already pissed off, man. They just got the brunt of it.
They've just they did overpromise on a lot of things. Okay.
Mm.
But I mean, okay, maybe if I was talking to my coworker today and he had an interesting perspective, which I did the same for Cyberpunk, where I didn't follow all the announcements and shit. Like I kept up with some of the stuff, but I kept my expectations low and I didn't like see what the hell they were promising. Whereas same thing with Starfield, my coworker's like, I haven't watched anything on Starfield. I'm just gonna play it and I'm just not gonna have any expectations. I just want to play it. For me, I mean, besides the game show shown a lot of that stuff, so I guess I do have my own expectations. But maybe that's just what might help some people. Like when you see a new game come out, maybe keep close to it. But maybe if you wanna not be disappointed, then again, maybe the developer should just be upfront. Like, hey, this isn't going to be in the game. We played with it, but it's just not going to be there. Or you take the Baldur's Gate approach where you just take your fucking time and everything that you promise is in the fucking game.
Yeah, they only had 400 like 400 odd employees, gainfully employed, mind you. Like
I
they all had gainful employment, man. Like
and
whenever I was watching the panel, dude, they just took care of business. They're like, these are the bugs, we're working on them, and he was very transparent, and you just don't see that with game companies anymore.
Blizzard has like Activision, they have at least triple the amount of employees. And I mean Diablo 4 came out. I don't think it was that bad of a release. There
I
was
mean, it
some
was pretty bad. I think what really contributed to that was all the breast milk that they were stealing. But that's just me.
we how much are we talking?
Oh, dude,
I mean,
refrigerator's full.
fuck, man, maybe that's why they're all screwed up in the head. But I
Maybe.
don't know. I mean,
Breast milk is like a Red Bull energy drink to them.
it just fuels them. It's like the secret sauce. It gives them that
Gives them that edge.
edge, or makes them like younger. Maybe, I don't know.
Makes them edge.
We're trying to get into dangerous.
Degenerate.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's fine, dude. If you made it this far, you deserve that.
Well, I think we talked about a lot of hodgepodge of stuff. We talked about cards. We talked about fighting games. We talked about the TV shows. We also went into kind of the newer games, what we've been into, what we have.
Movies.
Yeah, movies. So what do we have next? I think we want to do something special soon. We will probably do more episodes on gaming, but there's one particular episode that we've been wanting to do for a very long time. And Josh, I think you know what I'm talking about.
What,
And
conspiracies?
yes, we have to do it this year.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll put the Illuminati Slayers where you can see what we're up to, what kind of memes we're posting. It's a bunch of fun stuff. But of course, also follow Ohms on Twitter and Instagram. I think he's been doing a lot more art streams, or at least he did one for me. And
I mean,
you think he'll be doing more of those?
I'd like to think that I would be, but who knows?
So conspiracy theories, that's coming soon. If you want to see what kind of conspiracies we're talking about, come check us out at Illuminati Slayers on Facebook.
Yeah.
Well, I think we have 600 members now, growing. Some of them are
dude.
real people, some of them aren't.
We're getting shadow banned.
Yeah, I think it's come to that point.
Yeah. They're tired of us exposing the truth.
Keep in mind, Josh is in college and his schedule is kind of tight, and with my job, it can also be kind of tight. So we're gonna try to do these episodes as much as we can.
Tight as fuck.
Yeah, very tight. So, but expect at least a few more episodes this year. Another discussion I'd like to go over too is the indie games. I want to kind of cover that as well. Indie games versus AAA games. Go over that again,
dude. So honestly, for indie games and shit, what I've been doing is just been playing a lot of games that have demos available. So I'll do that. I mean, I've already played through a lot of demos, and I think that's not too bad. So
yeah, that would be
if you're
fun.
an indie developer, and if you're listening to this and you have a demo, we'll send it my way or our way. We'll play it, dude. We'll stream it. We'll give it the good old Ohms Lounge review. Yeah, dude, we'll talk about it. We'll give you some exposure. We don't mind.
Yeah, that would be really fun. And then put you on the podcast too. We'll talk about it, talk about your game, and go from there.
Yeah, dude. You're welcome.
All right. So that's all I have. We'll see you next time.
Goodbye.
Bye-bye now. Bye-bye now. Bye-bye now. Bye-bye now. Bye-bye now.